Thank you, CA Chinna Mastan, for giving me this opportunity to meet with all my friends, chartered accountants, students from Chennai. Thank you, Sripriyaji, for moderating and helping to keep this, I hope, short and sweet. My good friend, my brother, Sri Annamalai, the president of the BJP in Tamil Nadu. And I can predict for all of you, he is going to be the future leader of Tamil Nadu. Sri R. Sundararajan, the treasurer of the SIRC, all the distinguished panelists who ran the panel on emerging trends in compliance landscape, all my fellow chartered accountants, present and future, who are also present in a good number. And all of you have to pass in the first attempt, otherwise you don't get a rank. Friends, Vanakkam. First of all, my apologies that you had to wait for so long. It's been a roller coaster day throughout this Sunday, starting from some party programs, then the interaction with exporters where everybody was given a chance to speak. Now I thought that was a virtue, but it turned out to take away 1.5 hours more than the scheduled time. But I thought all the exporters wanted to share their own experiences and ideas. And then after that I went to IIT Madras, which was an even more invigorating program. Young startups, new ideas, and a lot of potential for the future. After that, I did a very detailed review of all the works that are going on in Tamil Nadu with central government projects, central government funding or central government support. And in the process, didn't realize that we are getting so late, you had to wait for so long. But in Hindi, there is a saying, I'll translate it into English, that those who are closest to you, those who are your own, you can take for granted a little bit. So you are suffering because you are my own. I'm glad to be in the land of the Cholas, particularly with Ponniyin Selvam becoming such a super hit. I bow to Bhagwan Vishnu, who resides in Chennakesava Perumal temple here. But madam, while you did give me the Lakshmi, as treasurer, as a person in public life, it is not appropriate for me to keep that Lakshmi from you. So I request you to keep it in the president's office here as a remembrance for today. Any case, I don't accept any mementos, as probably you may be aware. Before I go any further, I would like to pay tribute to one of our fellow chartered accountants, also a rank holder, who passed away recently, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Somebody who brought a lot of ethical investing into India. You'll realize he had 30 years of investing in India, in the Indian stock market, but an unblemished track record. And very, very often those who do very well in the stock market, end of the day you find some scandal, some problem. We are proud that a fellow chartered accountant was so successful and ran a whole career without a single allegation or any negativity about it. We've lost him at an early age. I'd like to pay my tributes to him. And in a way, pick up the thread from there to respond to Miss Sripriyaji. Madam, I fully appreciate and I would also tend to agree with you that A few rotten eggs don't make the entire garden or the entire farm bad. And clearly, we all as auditors, as chartered accountants, are given a lot of trust, a lot of responsibility. Stakeholders depend on us. When you are signing a balance sheet or authenticating an account to be true and fair view of the state of affairs, or expressing an opinion on any document, millions and millions of people can be impacted by that certificate. You're a shareholder, let's say, of State Bank of India. You're trusting the signature of the auditor to reflect the true and fair view of State Bank of India. And likewise, small or big companies, corporations, government accounts, government corporations, internationally are accepted as representing a true and fair view. So imagine the responsibility that is cast upon all of us. We have the power to certify, and with that power comes that responsibility. I would fully agree with you and endorse what you said, that okay, a few people did not do their job well. But I wish that was true. The kind of frauds, the kind of irregularities that have come to the fore, that have come out, particularly since we started cleaning up the banking system, the kind of irregular loans being sanctioned, the kind of bank balance sheets being authenticated, the kind of company balance sheets that were authenticated. For many years, almost this whole process seems to have started somewhere around 2005-06, aggravated in 7, 8, 9. And then the ever-cleaning processes started to try and hide the reality. And in many of the cases, we are finding loans of thousands and thousands of crores being given without adequate collateral, without adequate security, without adequate adherence to norms of accounting. After all, once upon a time there was a scam in Satyam. But it did not mean that the entire CA profession was painted black. But do you recognize the fact that it took us more than a decade maybe to take any action on the chartered accountant who had been certifying falsehoods, even as long as the Satyam scam. And then when you see a series of these fraudulent accounts being approved, the problem was not so much in the people or the chartered accountants who must have been complicit or approved all these accounts, but the failure of our institute to take action on that. That was where the root of the problem lay. Sorry, you are a part of the Central Council, you are the president of the Chartered Accountancy Institute here, but we'll have to collectively take responsibility for our failure, our institute's failure, for adequately addressing this issue. After all, it can't be that it takes 8, 10 years to act on a matter which is before us. We can pass the buck, we can say we didn't get this information, we didn't get that information from so and so. But even Lord Krishna, whom you referred to, had said, I will pardon 99 wrong acts, but at the 107 I will have to act. Is that not right? And I promise you, at every step of the way, the government was very sympathetic to our institute, was very much wanting to support it. I am personally witness to Mr. Arun Jaitley, the former finance minister, in a meeting where one other association, not ours, another association which has also been now significantly changed, I will not take the name, where a lot of transformational changes have been made. When that process was going on, the Honorable Finance Minister, Mr. Jaitley, said, look at the Institute of Chartered Accountants. They are a role model institute. That was Mr. Jaitley's statement. Well run, with integrity, and a good institute. Prime Minister Modi gave us a heads up that look, we have to be responsive to the duty cast on us. People trust us, and that trust is on our work. Millions of people suffer. After all, let's say our banking system lost so much money. Whose money was it ultimately? Depositors' money, taxpayers' money. We are all suffering for what happened during that period. And believe me, all through the process that you are worried about, a long rope was given to us. After all, Suresh Prabhu was there, I was there, we were both in government. And towards the end, it was almost decided that we'll give one more opportunity, the 100th opportunity, when two major scandals came out. And almost that was like a situation where if we did not act as government, the public would have probably misunderstood both our profession and the central government's intent. Even at that point, at the request of the institute, a meeting was set up with the then Finance Minister, Mr. Jaitley. I was invited, even though I was not directly involved in that subject. I was invited at the meeting. And the institute representatives who came in that meeting, the kind of aspersions that they cast on the officials of the government of India, the kind of comments that were made in that meeting, I had to bow my head in shame for the behavior and the way the institute leadership, the then institute leadership behaved. I have never said this in public before. But since you did raise that issue and you wanted my vote on it, I thought I should share the background and then ask you how I can vote for such behavior or such activity. At that time also it was almost decided that broadly the reins will be in the hands of the institute and our representatives. But I tell you, that meeting was literally the tipping point, after which I have never from that date till today interfered or tried to hold a brief, knowing the gravity of the kind of comments that were made in that meeting. I tell you, if any of you were there in that meeting, or if you had to listen to somebody telling you all those things, you would have hung your head in shame. So therefore, I think we are a very premier body. We have 3.5 lakh members. We have 7.5 lakh students. What message do we want to give to the country and to the world? Today, in an interconnected world, where India is a beacon, a shining star, as even the IMF CEO and MD, Kristalina Georgieva, mentioned just 2 days back. We are the bright spot. The world is looking up for us to lead world growth. She even went to the extent of saying, but this has not happened by chance. It has happened because of the strong structural reform, changes, transformation, the digitisation that has been done under Prime Minister Modi. But all of that is certified end of the day by a chartered accountant. The world, when they see our GDP numbers, when they see our inflation numbers, when they see our corporate results, all of that is on the strength of a certificate which is worth its weight, I don't know, gold, diamond, platinum, I am not such an expert. It's worth its weight in every possible value that one can imagine. And therefore, to maintain the sanctity of that, to maintain the credibility of that, and to earn back the trust also of the government, we will have to persevere, we will have to work, we will have to demonstrate our own integrity and our own commitment that any wrongdoing will not be tolerated by any of us, and we will earn this trust back again with our work, with our high ethics, standards of ethics. A code of ethics cannot merely be a piece of paper or a motto that we will invoke at the beginning of every function. That is not where the buck stops. The buck stops when we are finally affixing our signature. And it is not as if it was an occasional transience or irregularity. I think there was need for all of us to have a wake-up call. And this may kindly be taken only as a wake-up call. I can assure you, you are all, every chartered accountant of this country is held in the highest esteem by every one of us in the government. The Prime Minister's message, for example, on 1st July, a very, very encouraging message to all of us. And we all have huge expectations, just as you have expectations from us. And the people of India have expectations of us. And let us all work together in the spirit in which Prime Minister Modi on 15th August laid out the 5 commitments, the 5 pran, where he spoke about making India a developed country by 2047, when we celebrate 100 years of independence, where he spoke about removing the colonial mindset. Thank God our institute was made in 1949, and we are not also a legacy of the past. But unfortunately, in our education systems, in our way of living, dressing, working, we still carry a lot of legacy of the pre-independence days. The Prime Minister has appealed to all of us to get out of that old legacy, but yet go back to our roots, our rich culture, our tradition, our heritage, our value systems, our family value systems. They are invaluable. Those are the ones which will hold us in good stead, which will take this nation forward. And of course, he spoke about the unity and integrity of the country, Ekta or Ekjutta. Together, when all of us, 130 crore Indians, with a sense of duty, the 5th commitment was work with a sense of duty, kartavya bhavna. When all of us, 130 crore Indians, the 3.5 lakh crore chartered accountants and 3.5 lakh chartered accountants, 7.5 lakh students, our families, our colleagues, our people who work with us, our neighbors, all of us, when all of us decide that this is our duty, that we are all going to work for a developed India, believe me, no power on earth, no law, none of the issues which have currently caused some concern in you and others, none of that is going to matter. It's our collective commitment, our collective collaboration, our collective commitment to fulfill the vision and the dream of all our fellow citizens. Only that is going to matter. And if we do take forward the other 2 ideas that he had also articulated in his Independence Day address, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, when we celebrated on 15th August. And the other 2 were Nari Shakti, give respect to the dignity and the contribution of our women power in nation building, and a Bhrashtachar Mukt Bharat, corruption free India. If all of us adopt the 5 principles, commit ourselves to recognizing, respecting and involving our sisters, our daughters, and all of us take it upon ourselves a promise to make India corruption free, believe me, there is absolutely no power on earth that can stop the growth, the progress, the rise of a resurgent India, a powerful India, a Vishwaguru, And that can come with inclusive growth, with prosperity being shared with all the people of India. We are working to take various projects, various programs through the length and breadth of the country so that every citizen of this country is empowered. Their basic needs are taken care of. I can tell you the series of initiatives, be it Swachh Bharat, be it Digital India, be it our effort to give a good Pakka home to every family in the country. Over 3 crore homes being built under that. Electricity in every home today, cooking gas in every home today. A toilet, can you imagine half this country, 50% of this country didn't have a toilet in their home until 2014. Governments came, governments went. 67 years after independence, how could we tolerate the indignity of our sisters, our brothers, our daughters, our children having to go to the fields? Why did nobody else think of first ensuring an open defecation-free India? That's the minimum dignity that a citizen of this country demands. During COVID, when we felt there could be stress on food grains, 80 crore of our less privileged brothers and sisters, apart from the food grain they got in the food security program, getting another 5 kilo per person per month for 28 months at a cost of 4 lakh crores. That's your taxpayers' money being put to good use, so that not a single family had to sleep hungry. Not a single child had to sleep hungry through such a trying time, such a challenging and difficult situation. The worst health crisis we have faced ever. All of this, friends, is to empower our citizens so that they are free. As they were once upon a time, they used to be bothered about roti, kapda, makan. Prime Minister Modi is working to free our people from the basic needs, to give them the basic needs, to assure them the basic needs of life, so that they can all start focusing on an aspirational tomorrow. A young India, the youngest in the world, the demographic dividend that is often talked about. We are going to enjoy the fruits of a demographic dividend for the next 30 years, a young population, working population. Let us all work together as an empowered nation, as an inspired nation, to take prosperity, to take inclusive growth to the last man at the bottom of the pyramid. It is only equitable and inclusive growth which can truly make India a powerful country. Let us all commit ourselves to quality, high quality standards, be it in our profession, be it in the goods manufactured in India, be it in the services we make and provide in India or export from India. Let us not only help business, let us build business. Let us build the nation. Let us build character in our nation. And I have full confidence that the Institute of Chartered Accountants and every one of you will be a partner in this journey to prosperity. My best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. A standing ovation to the Minister, please. Friends, in Vedic astrology, there is a particular period in everyone's life where it says it's a Raja Yoga. A Raja Yoga where you get associated with the leaders and the kings of the nation. And I think that at SIRC today, sir, we have experienced the benefit of this Raja Yoga when you have come to translate to us or percolate down to us the expectations of the government and also where we are going wrong and how we can help India to reach the 2047 goal. Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring speech. Now over to Sundarajan, sir, the treasurer of SIRC, for the vote of thanks.
Respected Chartered Accountant P.S. Goyal, sir, Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry, and respected Chairman SIRC, C.A. Chinnamasan, sir, respected CCM, C.S. Priya, madam, respected RCM, and today's MC, thanks, madam, Revati, madam, and Annamalai, sir, BJP State Leader, IPS, and the members and students present here. Namaskaram to all of you. The speakers and panelists of today, first of all, let me thank our chief guest of the day, Mr. P. Goyal, sir. Though it's delayed, which has been, I should thank our panelists for maintaining the status. I should first thank the panelists, Mr. MPV, sir, Bhaskar, sir, Mahesh, sir, Prabhu, sir, and Gopal, sir, for their wonderful replies to the queries and managed the time. And thanks to Annamalai, sir, for gracing this occasion. Finally, thanks to the members and students present here, without whom the program would not have been successful. Thanks to the office, team led by Mr. Paramasivan, sir, and the caterers who served us on time. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.